while we get the camera situated.
Hi guys.
Good morning.
Don't worry, I'm not the one driving, and I'm fixing it. Oh, there's a little guy. Hey Zion. Hey guys, I'm Rami, and this is Monica, my beautiful wife. We are Original Intent. We help Christians heal their hearts and relationships so they can thrive on what God has for them. So I just want to get going. This is a topic that I believe a lot of people, whether conscious or subconsciously, we wonder this.
And it's so valid because, we see like some people experience healing and then other people not experience healing.
So does God, is healing for everyone? Does God want everyone to be healed?
Yeah. And so my thoughts around that.
Real quick, hey, if you guys have any, tell us where you're from, your name. We'd love to hear where you're from. Also, if you have any comments or questions or any quote that pops out, just type it below. We'd love to hear your thoughts, see what you're thinking, and just go on this conversation with you. So go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, you're great.
If you're on YouTube, subscribe, because we're releasing a lot of videos. Sorry, I did that again. That is a no.
I love you. So is it God's will to heal everyone? And this can be such a tender subject, and I want to approach it with so much grace and humility.
Right.
Because the last thing that I want is for anyone to feel shame for not being healed.
Yeah.
And I, in my healing journey, felt that. So I can totally relate.
Like that rejection.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're not getting healed, so either you're not having enough faith, or you're your thoughts aren't renewed, or what's wrong with me.
Am I good enough Christian? Am I falling off the bandwagon?
Yeah, and something that I really encountered in my process, and I have received healing physically, emotionally, mentally, at different points in my life. And the hardest part for me was mentally, when I had postpartum anxiety, and just before having my son, I had anxiety in general. And I literally spent 5 days inpatient at a hospital because I felt like I was falling apart. I felt like I was going crazy. And it was not any issue of taking my thoughts captive or casting out fear or
we tried that.
We'd done all of that.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it can feel like, okay, I've done all of the things and I'm not experiencing healing. And
I've read hours and hours of the Bible.
Or even
listen to worship music.
Maybe you've lost a loved one. Maybe you lost a child or a parent or a friend, and you're like, well, why didn't God heal them? And I want to start out with this, the Father's heart is our vibrancy. That's his intention when he created Eden. When he created the garden, he intended us for to thrive and be in relationship with him and be in connection, and sin came into the world. And I personally, I don't believe that pain is his desire for us.
Right.
But because we live in a fallen world and in a broken world, and Jesus said there will be suffering, and Jesus went through suffering, I believe that there's something beautiful about the fact that it is only in this age that we can encounter God in pain. In the age to come, it's going to be perfection. We're going to have new bodies, new heavens, new earth. The Lord is going to be our King and our Son, and like it's gonna be glorious. And so yes, there's pain in this world, and no, there's no shame for experiencing pain, like Jesus said, and that doesn't mean you're not victorious.
Yeah. And there's no second class healing either. Like if it takes you a journey to heal.
Yeah, if it takes going to doctors, you should go to doctors. There's no second class healing. If it takes going to a counselor or going to coaches or getting medicine, like there is nothing wrong with that.
You know,
like, because ultimately whenever you're in that place of like, well, I need a miracle, it's like maybe your miracle is gonna come very practically. Like,
right.
what if actually you're in self-deprecation and you're in cycles of like self-hatred and shame, and you're actually preventing your miracle in a sense because you're
right
you're trying so hard to be empty.
Here's another thing too is people get healed miraculously or delivered even, and because they're not discipled and they haven't learned the tools to like to sustain the healing or the deliverance, you do the same things to get back into the pain, like whether it's pain or healing or like demonic oppression. So the thing that we're passionate about is actually giving you the tools to disciple you into your healing, into your deliverance, into
and I've heard
health.
I've heard it said, like, doctors have looked this up. There's a whole ministry in Georgia around this, that like 80% of diseases are related to like spiritually, like emotionally, relationally. You know, they're created
like self-hatred.
Yeah, they're created by like
stress.
Things like that. And again, I want to stop and I want to say no shame. Like, there is no shame. You have done nothing wrong. You're not a problem that needs fixed. You have a heart that needs sincere and genuine love.
Yep.
And what I discovered was that it wasn't God's heart to inflict the pain upon me, but He's the comforter and He's the healer and He's the restorer, because He is so good that I actually got to encounter Him in that, and I got to receive comfort. I got to receive restoration. I got to receive healing. And sometimes I wonder if the way we think we should be healed looks like we put it in a box. Like, we think it should look a certain way, but what if like you think, okay, and this is something that I'm not a fan of when it comes to church culture, because I see it as unhealthy, as like just dealing with the symptom of the thoughts. You know, like you think, okay, I just need to renew my mind. But the reality is that actually you have pain that needs healed, and it's much deeper than just changing your thoughts.
Yeah.
God is relational, and He actually wants to build intimacy in that place of pain.
Yeah. You know, it you know, you may see like, and you may say like, but you know, I've seen people be healed. I've
been healed physically multiple times.
And but here's the thing is, you see the sudden healing, but how long did it take for that sudden healing to happen? Like, you don't see the pain in between, the journey that it took to get to that place, even if it was a miraculous sudden healing. There's often a real hard journey in it. There's always a hard journey, I would say.
A journey
in a sudden healing.
Learning too.
Yeah.
Because we need, like, ultimately, like, sustainability. A lot of times, like, I will give you an example. God has healed my physical body 4 times, but I'm going to talk about certain 3. And they all had to do with running. I was a runner. I loved running. Like, I would run like 60 to 90 miles a week, and I loved it. And there was this year that I had a pain in my hip that I went to doctor after doctor and physical therapist, chiropractor. I did all of this stuff from like in MRIs and even, it's not acupuncture, but a dry needling. I did all of that, and like it still hurt. Nothing helped. And in that year was actually when I gave my life to the Lord. And it was amazing. Like at that point, it was the first time I had gone to my friend's church, where I ended up really falling in love with Jesus there. And they asked if anyone needed prayer for healing, and I had never heard I'd never heard anyone say that. And so I raised my hand, and a girl prayed over me, and she, I had gotten jobs. I decided I was going to go get, like, I was moving to that city. And so by the time that I had left the church, gone home, gotten everything to move up to, it was Kansas City, and I moved in. I went out for a run, and I was like, oh my goodness, the pain is gone. Like, it was gone. Like, I did nothing. It was gone. And like that's, I don't remember what I was going, but this is to build faith. Like, physically we have been healed, and we believe in it. We believe in it 100%.
We believe that God could heal you in a moment. We also believe that there could be a process, and neither is better or worse. But we also believe that that the tools that we teach in our Eden Intensive, they will actually make the pain less as you heal, and then they will also help.
They'll bring healing, because
they'll help you for your whole life live in wholeness. Like, there's a lot of things as kids that, you know, we've never learned that healthy, whether it's relationships, or whether it's like relationship with yourself, or relationship with God,
or relationship with others.
We've never really learned that as kids a lot of times, and those things are causing us a lot of pain, even if we're redeemed, even though if we're like doing great. You know, there's these things that would make our lives even better, that would maybe even take out like heart pain, that would remove like struggle in your life, and we have the tools that we teach people to walk through pain and not avoid it, and make it a lot better. Like, it doesn't have to be that painful.
And ultimately, like, I believe it's not knowing how to navigate hardship and pain a lot of time is what can cause more pain in our emotions and our relationships and our bodies.
Yep.
Again, in case you're hopping on and you haven't heard the rest of it, there's no shame if you're experiencing pain and you haven't been healed. Like,
we both experienced that. We've both experienced healing. We've both experienced the supernatural, and then there was a point in our life where we both experienced mental health issues that weren't healed by God, but that were healed by the medical field, or that were addressed with practical things. Like, I changed my eating, and I started moving a lot more, like just exercising and then medication, and all those things together really changed my life, and psychology really changed my life, and now I'm able to live with passion, with joy, with hope, with dreams for the future, and at that point, I had come to my end.
Yeah. and I want to say this too. I know I'm going a little bit off. One, I want to say, just to summarize, I believe that it is God's will to heal everyone. And
it's not God's will for you to be in pain or sick.
To be in pain or sick.
Yeah.
But, and in that, in the new age, we will have complete wholeness. Complete wholeness. And so there's no...
in heaven.
Yeah, there is no... Yeah, new age, that sounded weird.
Yeah, in the new age.
Yeah, when the new heavens and new earth. There is...
No sickness.
There...
Cheers.
I mean, yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
But there is pain in this world, and there is no shame for it. But I'm saying that, like, in the midst of the pain, there's a comforter. There is a God who loves and loves to draw near us, and that it is His heart to heal us.
Yeah, and why would Jesus leave to send a comforter and a counselor unless we would need a comforter and a counselor? So I just think maybe we need to get ourselves out of the box of like what it may look like, believe for healing, but also believe in like people that can help us walk through it, practically as well, and just follow that trail that God leads us on. And ultimately it's that trail of like putting your dependency on God and God alone, not on a healing, not on anything. It's like hanging on to Jesus for dear life when nothing makes sense, and there's those moments, and every single, I think there's so many people, even revivalists that believed in healing, a lot of them have died from cancer, or like, and so that's really interesting as well, like they healed so many people, and then at the end of the day they were taken away by a disease or something. So I just want to point that out too. Like, let's just remove the shame. Let's remove this, and let's just ultimately go after Jesus and go after like learning how He created us to be, like healthy, and do with what He has for us, like in a really good way.
Yeah, and I want to say this, like, I believe that healing's not the standard, but love is.
Love is always the standard over anything else. It's like,
and that may look like, and this is something that I believe can be toxic, and particularly like charismatic church culture is like this declaring healing, and then there can be the shame over someone if they're not healed. And actually, what that person needs more than that declaration is they need that comfort. Yeah. They need the love.
Yeah, the kind of like Jesus did, walking with the disciples, like in the midst of them, as one of them. Sometimes we lose sight of that, like being, like walking with people, like in the moments that are real, and having those conversations, and just being, not always trying to fix everyone. So anyways, I think we kind of covered the topic and more. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, definitely like and subscribe. That really helps us. We want the message to get out there. We want to see people healed. We want to see people thriving in what God has for them. If things are stopping them from really living in the wholeness that they're meant for, if that's you, I would say, like, we're gonna drop our link below for our Eden Intensive. Our Eden Intensive is where we mentor Christians. We walk them through their pain. We walk them through dysfunction, addiction, not even the big things, just emotionally, basically emotionally and relationally, like healing the things that are stopping us from thriving. So we love you guys. We're really excited to chat with you. If you're uncomfortable with commenting below, just go into Facebook. We're Ramey and Monica Harris on Facebook, and you can find us and message us.
Monica Ramey, if you're gonna be literally
Monica Ramey Harris. Yeah, it's like Monica Ramey Harris, Remy. So we love you guys, and thanks for being part of this conversation, and we look forward to talking with you guys again. Bye.